show you how I take care of myself in these moments where everything seems quite overwhelming. Just because it's more convenient. I'm just too lazy. Look at this beauty! Not for much longer. Some days are better than others. This is one of the tricky ones. Think about what makes you feel good, what makes you take care of your health, whether it's mental, physical. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to another video. I feel like it's been a really long time since I spoke to you last. I think it was a couple of weeks ago when we were in Portugal. Time flew by and it's been a bit difficult, I have to be honest with you, the past couple of weeks. Like physically, I'm in my 31st week of pregnancy right now. Things are starting to get more and more uncomfortable. It's not going to get any easier, I know this, but it is what it is, and it's my last few weeks at work as well. I'm going to go on maternity leave just in, well, 4 weeks now. So everything is kind of like kicked off and there's a lot on our plate. I'll probably take you through it throughout the day and explain a little bit more. But what I thought would be nice to do today is take you along with me. It's going to be a regular work day and show you how I take care of myself in these moments where everything seems quite overwhelming. I feel overwhelmed and I just need a little bit more self-care. I think, don't we all? At the end of the day, don't we all need a little bit more attention for self-care and, you know, our well-being, etc, etc. So I've got, I think, about an hour before my first meeting of the day. So I thought, let's start our morning together. Let's just center ourselves before everything, the craziness begins. And we'll take it from there. I also wanted to show you our most recent addition to the nursery, which is this really lovely nursing chair from Pottery Barn Kids. It's so comfortable, so comfortable, and I actually do most of my meditations here in the morning because it's so comfortable. I've never been really consistent with my meditation. I've tried in the past. I've downloaded Calm years ago, and I think I got in the groove of it and used it for a little bit of time just to get myself ready for sleep, mostly. But I wouldn't use it very consistently, and now I'm using this app called Breathe, which is this one here. And it was like highly recommended by a friend of mine, and I ended up purchasing the lifetime membership, which basically just really forces me, not forces me, but kind of incentivizes me to use it. I also get notifications when my friend does a meditation, like she can dedicate the session to me. When I get that notification, it kind of reminds me as well to take care of my mental health and take a session too. What I really like is that, just like most meditation apps, to be honest, like I wouldn't really know which one to recommend, but just like most apps that I've seen and used before, you can choose, you know, the length of your meditation. Obviously there might be some themes, some of them might be more guided than others, so it's really up to you what you feel up for. But usually, yeah, in the morning I've been taking like 5 to 10 minutes meditations, and sometimes it's, you know, not until 10 o'clock that I can do it. Sometimes it's just early afternoon, and you know, I'm not rigid or specifically on a schedule with it, but I try to do it in the morning because I know that it helps me get centered and feel a little bit more in tune with myself as I start my day. Do you know what? I'm kind of feeling this one, positivity. And I have the most gorgeous view just straight in front of me. And I can hear the birds chirping, all the sounds of nature. It's quite meditative in its own right. tidying up my bedroom before the end, before the start of the day also puts me in a good mindset. I feel like I'm well put together. It's, I don't know, the idea of clutter and seeing clutter and mess around me is not helpful. So yeah, making my bed in the morning is something I find quite therapeutic. I usually let it air out. It's really dark. Let's open the skylights. I always keep them closed just because it's more convenient. I'm just too lazy. When it's like late at night, I don't know, everything seems a bit too much. Even pressing a button to like lower the blinds. I think I mentioned to you a couple of vlogs ago perhaps that we're going to be moving from this house at some point soon. We don't know exactly when just yet. But there's been a little bit of drama when it comes to the actual selling process. We were waiting on a piece of paperwork for a very long time, and just a couple of weeks ago everything kind of kicked off, and it was quite stressful. It's, you know, knowing that this baby is going to arrive very soon and not really knowing when we will be moving out, and also not knowing when our next home is going to be ready for us. It's just a little bit much for us right now. So we're having to deal with a lot of unknowns. Yeah, this year has been a bit crazy when it comes to that. We moved in here just at the beginning of the year. There was a lot of drama around that, and then obviously I found out I was pregnant, and that came with its own challenges, and it was a really crazy time. And it feels like now that we're approaching the end of the year, which is mental, and we're getting close to the baby being born, like nothing has really slowed down. But you know, life is like that. Life is like that. You can't wait for it to slow down. You can't just wait for everything to be perfectly settled and in place. It just doesn't work like that. You just keep getting like curveballs and challenges, and you know, that's, I guess, the exciting bit of it. So I'm just trying to like reframe things in a way where, you know, it's a crazy ride. It's a crazy journey. Some days are hard, some days are a little bit easier, some days are amazing. You know, it's a roller coaster, and I just want to be able to embrace all the ups and the downs. And all of these practices that I'm trying to practice, that I'm trying to establish, that I know really help my mental health and make me feel more centered, I think are going to be paramount now and in the future to feel a bit more put together, and also feel more capable to handle all of these curveballs, as I mentioned. I've done a lot of talking, but not a lot of bed making. This is not very aesthetic, but we embrace the ugly bolsters, all right? I'm just tidying up my jewelry. But I absolutely love September and the beginning of autumn. I'm just always so excited for this season. You know, it feels cozy, it feels warm, nature changes and kind of slows down. I think there's something really beautiful about it. And I really want to embrace that kind of slower pace in my own life. Cozy sweaters, leaves changings on the trees, and all these beautiful like fall colours. How stunning. How stunning. I'm just so here for it. Let's go. So I wasn't actually originally planning on coming out for a walk, but then I thought the weather feels quite good. It's not hot, there's a nice breeze. I've got an hour between meetings now, so it just seemed to be actually like the perfect moment. I don't come out here as much as I would like to, I have to be honest. I tend to just go on the treadmill, which is a very privileged thing to say. We're very lucky to have one. But yeah, it's actually really nice to just be outside. I used to do this every single day when I was in London. Obviously not in beautiful like countryside lanes, obviously, but yeah, that's definitely something I've really missed, just taking actual outdoor walks. And we do it sometimes with Ruben. We have this like spot that we tend to usually go to together. But yeah, we've not been doing that very often. It's only been about 10 minutes. And I don't know, just being outdoors amongst the trees in nature, yeah, it's already doing me so much good. Like the thought of going back to my desk right now is, yeah, just really not very appealing. For lunch, I would like to have some really nourishing food that makes me feel great. Oh, it's raining now. I'm so glad that I went on a walk earlier. We've got some leftovers, so what I'm gonna do is probably just assess the situation and make some Buddha balls. You guys are gonna get so sick and tired of Buddha balls, but aren't they the easiest thing to do? This tofu smells incredible. I used a different marinade today. I did a combination of Japanese rice vinegar, lemon, maple syrup, soy sauce, and sesame oil. It smells divine. Look at this beauty! Our setup still looks ridiculous. Not for much longer. We still have garden furniture in the kitchen.
Buon appetito.
Buon appetito. That tofu, you gotta try.
Buono.
This will marinate today. It's been relentless today. And it's kind of hard to get out of that state of mind where you're just rushing from one thing to the other and you're just stressing out about your to-do list, and then you're taking one call and then you're jumping on the next call, and yeah, it's quite difficult. And I don't want to be in this state of running around like a headless chicken. But I'm excited because I have therapy later. It's always like, I'm excited. I mean, I know it's good for me. Am I excited in the conventional sense? No. Do I know that it's going to be like it's going to feel like a nice, like brain cleanse? Yes, I know that's going to be great. So I do look forward to that aspect, but therapy is difficult, you know, it's really difficult. How is it already 4 p.m? Just setting things up for my therapy session, which starts in 3 minutes. I feel like, yeah, today was a little bit challenging, just because of the sheer volume of like meetings and work that I had to do. Some days are better than others. This is one of the tricky ones. And it's probably a great thing that I have this session right now. Hi Alex, good to see you. That was a session and a half. I feel a little bit anxious following that, which is okay. We embrace all feelings. So I will probably listen to a little breathing meditation. I feel like, can you actually hear my voice? Like, my voice has been so weird for the past few days. And I think it's generally because of like anxiety and like stress. This is just like to say, like, the power of the mind is just so powerful. So that's why it's so important to really take care of our well-being. And I think that's what today's video is really all about. This is like, you know, a regular busy day, and this is me trying to get through it in a way that makes me feel better. Oh my God, can you believe it? I still have heartburn. I need to get some Gaviscon. Where was I? I don't even remember. I wouldn't have normally push myself to go out on a walk, and I'm glad that this video gave me the inspiration or kind of the excuse to actually go and do it, because I loved every second of it. So yeah, this is really like a little bit of a test run of all of the things that I could be doing more of in my day-to-day. So yeah, I guess my little encouragement here is to really think about what makes you feel good, what makes you take care of your health, whether it's mental, physical, etc, etc. But anyway, let's have a little meditation, shall we? But before I do that, I just came across this really funny video on TikTok. I'm a massive Lord of the Rings fan. I'm not sure if I told you this before, probably not. But anyway, my friend shared this with me, and it's such an accurate depiction of me and my obsession for Aragorn. If you don't know the Lord of the Rings that well, if you're not that much into fantasy, you probably won't know what I'm talking about. But if you do, and if you're a fan of Aragorn, hey ho, you're in for a treat. As you know, the garden furniture is actually in the kitchen, so I'm having to like resort to different solutions. I was gonna do a lower body workout, but Ruben wants to train as well. So probably what I'll do, I'll just hop on the treadmill instead, listen to something, still move, but at least he gets to train as well. Also, this is Bump. Can you see it? So I think that tonight is probably going to be a butternut squash soup kind of night. We've got this beautiful squash to use, so I'm gonna pop this in the oven with some carrots It just adds a little bit of extra sweetness, which is lovely. And then I'm gonna chop some potato, pop it on the pot with some onion and just let it sizzle, let it caramelize with some olive oil and garlic. And I think it's gonna taste amazing. Then I'm gonna combine them, add the broth and just let it simmer for about 15 minutes. And that is literally dinner sorted. And it's so comforting. I'm not sure if roasting your vegetables instead of boiling them really makes a difference. By the way, if you hear any noises, because Ruben is still training, yeah, roasting really makes a difference. So yeah, let's crack on, because I don't want to take a really lovely, luscious shower. Look at this beautiful velvety velouté. Actually, I think the texture is more of a velouté than a soup. But doesn't it remind you of like warm, cozy autumnal evenings? Oh, I love it. I showered and oh boy, do I feel better. Washing my hair really did it today. I'm gonna plate up the soup. I've got some soya chunks which I've let marinate in a broth with like loads of like herbs and flavors. This should be really lovely. And usually what we do if we feel like we need to kind of like, what's the word? Spike our soup. That's the word. We usually add soya chunks just to add a little bit of protein, because otherwise it's just veg really. So that's the plan. And yeah, and I just really want to watch some Netflix. What's happening with the light? Going crazy. Just about to call it a night, guys. But I just wanted to say we have this new evening ritual now with Ruben, which we've picked up after having our course in hypnobirthing, which was amazing. My voice, it's so annoying. I'm so sorry. I really hope it's gonna get better in the next few days. It's really difficult actually for me to like articulate in 2 words what hypnobirthing is. But a big part of it is about mindfulness. It's about breath work. It's about really working with your body and with your mind to help with the delivery of your baby. And so as a part of that, we've been given a little booklet with a lot of relaxation. And they suggest that you and your partner kind of read it together before you go to bed as a sort of way to wind down and really train your mind to get into that relaxation state, so that when the time comes, when labor begins, you can bring yourself back to that space more easily. So it's about practice really. Yeah, so we've been reading one relaxation every evening and it's so nice. Another, you know, big thing that I do for myself to relax and wind down before bed is obviously reading, which, you know, I'm absolutely obsessed with. I really want to start Carrie Soto is Back, which is a new book by Taylor Jenkins Reid. It just came out, I don't know, 10 days ago, just very recently, so I'm very excited to read it. I've read all of her stuff pretty much, and yeah, really excited to see what this is going to be about. But now it's very clear that I need to stop talking because my voice, it's no bueno right now. So thank you guys for tuning in for today's video and for spending the day with me. I really appreciate each and every one of you watching. So thank you so much. I'll speak to you next time. Bye.